is most likely going to just be straight up with their kids. I think that that's the best way. Just seeing, like, there's a lot of millennial parents who are documenting their adulthood, which I think is very iconic. Like, they're having kids now, or like their kids are young, and they're kind of documenting how they're going about in like a new age.
Are they documenting? You mean vlogging?
Yeah, they'll like post videos of like, this is what I do when my son or daughter has a tantrum. This is what I do when this happens.
Yeah.
And they show their parenting.
Yeah.
And then like other parents go in there and say, I never thought about it that way, or I never done that, and like it helps them in their own life. So
we used to get the belt.
He's gonna be such a good
period.
Yeah. Jail. That's what I meant to say.
And then these days, the children, now see, y'all, we come in an era where, well, I think back then you could do too, that kids can divorce their parents.
I've never heard that in my life.
Yeah, you could divorce your parents.
sad thing, but it's very true.
I just feel like, let's talk about
who don't need to be parents, Darius?
Listen, and this is going to be controversial.
Okay.
Is everyone ready for this?
Is everyone ready?
Ooh,
it's on his channel.
For this?
So I'm ready. It's his
am I
channel.
going to be canceled?
Are you?
Parenting? Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Parenting is not a God-given right.
No.
It's not.
Well.
Okay, everybody can be a parent.
Everybody
but Darius
can't be a parent, and everybody doesn't need to be a parent. Okay?
Yeah. But how do you know if you are fit to be a parent? Because every parent is a parent for the first time.
I get it, but
yes, every parent will have
to be a parent for the first time, right? Just like every person that get married has to be married for the first time. And you're not gonna know, so you don't know.
You don't know everything, and I'm not expecting you to know.
Right, but you need to be a nurturing mother, nurturing.
It's almost like
supportive.
I'm not even talking about extremes. It's more of, obviously we know, and it's been like this in every generation, we know that you shouldn't neglect your child, you shouldn't abuse your child. Those are all things that are givens. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about being a parent for your child. There's a right way to do it, and I think that
what is the wrong way?
I think you need to understand that children are just that. They're children.
Let them be kids.
Yes, let them be kids. Obviously, you're still the adult, you're the parent. Mm-hmm. But it takes time. I don't know how to explain it. You can learn a lot from your kids. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You learn a lot about yourself. That's true. And I'm saying it's like I have kids. But I'll let you know. Listen, I think that's what I love about the internet. It's not that I know everything. It's just that, like, I'm regurgitating words from parents that are, like, younger, like millennial parents, right? And so I take that and burner. Gets burned and then realizes I should never do that again. Mm-hmm. A wise man watches the person
it's hot.
Mm-hmm, touch the burner and say, I'm never doing that.
Right.
So,
which one are you?
You shouldn't do it.
I'm wise.
Oh, you wise.
So, and I think that because we have so much because we have so many people already having just conversation, you can literally see people talking about anything on the internet. You can do research, you can figure out things, and then say, hey, maybe I shouldn't do that.
But Darius, okay, but everybody does not supportive,
but not
able to talk to your child.
Do you think most people are like that? Because I don't think so. I don't think most people are like that.
Probably most people are not like that. They're very supportive. You know, like me. Well, I don't know what you feel, but me and your dad, like we used to always, support you and Dad with everything that y'all did. We were there, supportive. Teachers conference together. Right. We would never separate. We always both of us show up to y'all musicals, talent shows. Whatever the thing is, and I feel that's important. But sometimes you have parents that say that's not important to them. I'm not going to go to my kids' talent show, and they never have no parent there to support them. Or they understand. Have you ever had that where parents said, "No, my parents are not coming," or "I'm not having nobody here for it today"? And it's very.
And I get that, like.
But they do it because they don't want to do it, but you don't understand that's hurting that child.
If you're doing it because you don't want to do it, you're the person I'm talking about right now. You don't need to be a parent. You can't. Why are you having a child? What is the You need to sit down and think before you have a kid.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, because you take that and then you say, I'm not going to do what my parents did. Exactly. So I understand all of that. But my point is that I think that people go into it. I think that people are like, okay, I want a child. And then they want the child to be whatever they thought that they wanted the child to be.
Like, I want you to be a doctor. I want you to be this.
They imagine in their mind, I'm having a child, and this is how they're going to be.
Right.
And then when your child comes out and they're not that, you're upset.
Yeah.
And you're disappointed.
Yeah.
That is not what a parent should be doing. You are bringing a child into this earth, okay? And your child is not you. Your child is not going to do the things that you wish you could have done if you were younger. Or your child is your child. Right, but they're a different person.
Exactly, because sometimes you have kids and like their father was a football player and he said, "You gonna play football, son? You're gonna play football." And they be like, "I don't want to play football, Dad. That's not me." But
there's a certain level of maturity and knowing why you're having. Ask yourself all those questions. Why am I having a child? Am I ready to accept my child or like be or have unconditional love for my child, regardless of what they decide to do in life, what they decide to be in life, like all of that,
support them through their ups and downs, because you're gonna have children that are going to disappoint, do things, or get on drugs, or maybe not live a lifestyle that is conducive to what you how you raised them. They go out, they do that, but you gotta still love them. Or children may be even in high school and acting unruly and different things like that, but you gotta still love them and not run them off. You gotta still show that love, still show that nurturing thing, and support them. You know what I'm saying? But also in that support, let them know you're doing wrong and that's not acceptable.
I said of maturity that needs to come with it, and that's why I think that
it does.
That watching I'm not like deep in on TikTok of like watching people parent their kids, but I've seen a lot of videos of people just showing their experience and saying, you know what, this is how my parents did it, and I feel like it didn't work for me. So let me try something different, and let me, show everyone else what I'm doing. And it's just like, I think that the main thing is that like being more patient with your kids and figuring out your child, because we've had this conversation a lot of like figuring out your child and like what works for your child may not work for other children and yada yada yada.
I think that as time goes, that your generation is going to have more like you said, more things to look at or to go by to be able to raise their children. We didn't have social media.
I know that.
So therefore, we when we raise our kids, it's based on what we know. Oh, let's do the best that we can to make it. And we did. Being your dad parent, do you think we're good parents?
Yes. 100%.
Yeah, about when we supporting y'all and stuff and going, we made sure we were there, always there, raising them in church. But we have made mistakes. We weren't perfect parents. No parents on this earth is a perfect parent, because your child may be like, you know what, Mom, because your children are growing up at a different time and space than what you grew up in. See, we're sometimes we raise our children based on what we did 30 years ago or 20-something years ago. They're like, wait, Mom, this is a new era. Like, you grew up in a more
Tune into this video, guys. It's very
computerized type of thing. When I was growing up, we had typewriters.
I like to think that, like,
thank you,
because like I'm
technology.
I'm kind of like